If you're coming up with a Clubhouse room, what would your prompt be for ChatGPT?
Gosh, you can't put me on the spot like that. Can I think about it for a second?
Mm-hmm. The reason I'm asking is because I know that Mimi will say it in a specific way. And that's what you guys have to make sure you're doing. You have to make sure that you're using the language that you use, your audience uses, and that people connect with you so that you're going to get how to skyrocket your listenership on social audio. And that's not something Mimi would say. And if she just ran with it, it'd be awkward.
It's Coffee Social, the podcast all about social media and business. And now, here are your hosts, Jonathan Howard and Mimi Langley.
Hi, everyone. Hello, Jonathan Howard.
Hello, Mimi Langley.
Wait, do you have your deep voice on? Because
I have my deep voice on.
You were not wanting to do this episode.
That is correct.
We're going to talk about it, you guys. We're not going to fight. We promised each other after the last incident that we were not going to argue. But honestly, we're talking about AI today, and it's going to be good because it's not going to be your stereotypical, yes, AI, like use it to do this. And, we're going to share both sides of it, right? We're going to share the dark side of AI. We're going to share we're going to shine some light on areas of AI that maybe you haven't utilized yet. So we'll talk about it today, but real quick, cheers.
Cheers, Mimi Langley. Of course.
Cheers,
if we're going to fight, we have to fight over coffee.
And if you have matcha or tea, you're good.
Yeah. It wouldn't be civil, though, if we fought over something that's not coffee.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. That would be really bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Real quick, though, before we dive in, I wanted to bring light to this episode. Do you want to see the two things I bought at the store the other day?
Oh, goodness. What did you buy at the store the other day?
So I am like a horror fanatic. I mean, I'm like, there's some horror movies that I won't watch. Do you watch horror?
I don't. I'm terrified of it.
Oh, well, I'm talking like, like popular horror,
scary.
like Jason and Freddy and.
Nope.
Okay, well, what about Jaws? Have you seen Jaws?
I've seen Jaws, yes. That's not horror.
Okay,
that's hilarious.
That is horror. That's not funny. It's a shark eating people.
It's funny. Go back and watch it.
Look, Jaws playing cards. I'm bringing this next time I see you.
Okay.
And also, I got a welcome to Camp Crystal Lake little air freshener for the car. And that,
because your car stinks? You just got a new car.
No, because hello, Camp Crystal Lake. That's Jason. Voorhees. Anywho, I know you out there appreciate this. So
yeah, it missed its mark. If I was your audience, it totally missed its mark. But
oh my goodness. Okay, so let's dive into this. First of all, you guys, I had to beg Jonathan to do this episode because he was very anti even addressing it, even bringing it to light on this podcast, and I said, we need to. We talk about social media and business. AI is part of it right now, whether you like it, whether you don't like it. So I would like Jonathan to kind of just kick us off with like his thoughts on this. And then we will dive into things that you can utilize it for. But go ahead, Jonathan.
Yeah. So my thought is that AI is the worst thing that could have ever happened to people creating content. And the reason I feel that is because I now see all the same content on social media, which is why I focus on people sharing their individual stories, their individual ways of doing things, and what they're doing differently, because if they're doing that, they'll stand out. If you're using AI to create your content and you're just running with what it's creating, you're going to blend in with everybody else. If you're a thought leader and you want to put out content out there that people respect you for, that people are looking to you to create, you need to be creating that content, not relying on AI to create the content for you. You can use it to proofread your content. You can use it to rewrite pieces of your content, but you can't lose your voice and you can't lose your thought leadership.
And listen, I underscore, highlight, exclamation point, all of that, Jonathan. I'm like with you on there. Okay. I agree with you. I think you have a voice. That's what makes you separate from the rest, right? Like that's what makes you stand out and shine. Is your expertise, is your thought leadership. So utilize AI kind of as, like a helper, and we're going to talk about what that means, but not to be the person that is being the thought leader, not to be the you know what I mean? Like, so everything you're saying is right on. And although it may be easier and you may have people that are very big in your specific industry pushing you to utilize AI, that doesn't mean that you always have to do everything that they say, right? Like, So
stand out, be willing to stand out, be willing to do things differently. And that's why one of the reasons why I say not to use AI at all, because for me, it would be very difficult to separate. Like I'd come up with this idea and then that. So I don't use it at all in my content, but I do use it when I'm writing something longer or an email or something like that. That's not my thought leadership.
Okay. Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Let's dive into it then. Now that we've talked about that. And I also want to mention too, that there are companies that are taking AI, with them. And, like Canva now has AI. I haven't experimented with that, but you can do like AI for imaging, right? Graphics. Riverside has AI. So we use Riverside to record this podcast. Notion, if you're into organization, like your digital workspace, Notion has AI. So there's a lot of companies adapting this because it's not going anywhere. Do you see AI disappearing? Because I certainly don't.
No, I don't see AI disappearing. I see it evolving in a lot of different ways. And I think the ways that we're using it right now will probably go away. And there'll be different, more useful features for AI to actually do things that humans can't do in the amount of time that we're given, but the computer can do. So I think it's going to definitely change in the next few years or months.
Yeah, and there's some AI too that will build a website for you. I mean, like, it's some serious stuff out there that can really be a time saver for you. So anywho, let's talk about the first category we have here is can help you give you direction. And I'm just going to give you a couple examples and then Jonathan, feel free to jump in. But like for me, how AI, and when I say AI, I'm really speaking from ChatGPT, like for this portion anyways. I love ChatGPT. I use the free version. I haven't upgraded to the paid, although people say it's like worth it. For me though, like examples, I want to write a children's book. I was telling this to Jonathan. That's like on my goal list, my bucket list for 2024 is to write the children's book. I've never written a children's book. I mean, I can go on YouTube and kind of figure out where to start, but ChatGPT is so quick. Like it just jumps right to the highlights, right? Like I don't have to sit there and listen to an hour-long YouTube video. ChatGPT is just going to give me a plan, a roadmap of what it is to write a children's book, like what you need to be looking out for. That's what I mean when I say I use ChatGPT. Another one, I've used ChatGPT for, like starting my community. I have, when the commercial break rolls, you'll see what the community is all about. And I also have it linked below. But I never put together a paid community before, for entrepreneurs. I had no idea really like how to, what to include in it, like all the things. And ChatGPT again gave me basically held my hand and walked me through the process. So that's where I find it very helpful and very time efficient.
Right. And what it was really useful for you there was to create the roadmap. And then you yourself created all the processes, the things that you needed to do from that roadmap. So they were in your voice. They were talking to your people and they were connecting with the right people, which is the thing that people miss is that particular aspect of it. You need to make sure that you're optimizing your content, not, it's great that it gave you a checklist of things to do. Keep that checklist, do those things, but then make sure you're optimizing those things for your audience and for how you speak to them.
Absolutely. 100%. And it's crazy because you can, the way at least ChatGPT works is it's almost like how you prompt it to give you answers, so it can help. Like if you are trying to talk to your specific audience and maybe you want to sound a certain way, like there are ways to help you up front, kind of give you the information you're looking for in that kind of angle of things, that perspective of things, if that makes sense. So anywho, we won't go down that road. People teach about
the prompts. Yeah, the prompts are definitely something that can change the output, and you should be prompting it to tell you things that's about your audience, but it still won't know it as well as you do.
100%. 100%. The other one was sometimes I'll go there for ideas. Like if I'm stuck somewhere, I don't want to say Instagram Reels, but like I do, like, content ideas, like, oh, what should I, any content ideas I can create for so-and-so for like this specific topic, like, and it will feed you kind of ideas to play off of. What do you think about that?
Simi pays for my membership where she gets hundreds of ideas for Reels every single month, yet she still goes to ChatGPT. She doesn't have to do anything to open up my membership thing and look at that, but she still goes to ChatGPT.
It's
see
not
where
even
her
just about
loyalty is.
Instagram Reels.
We see where her loyalty is.
I'm talking, it could be about content for anything. It could be about for my email list, really, or, ideas for Clubhouse rooms, like, topics to talk about, like, yeah. So it's not necessarily.
So what do you put in as your
video.
prompt for those? So give somebody an idea. Like if you're coming up with a Clubhouse room, what would your prompt be for
Oh my gosh,
ChatGPT?
you can't put me on the spot like that. Can
Yes,
I think
I
about
can.
it for a second?
Mm-hmm. The reason I'm asking is because I know that Mimi will say it in a specific way. And that's what you guys have to make sure you're doing. You have to make sure that you're using the language that you use, your audience uses, and that people connect with you so that you're going to get, because ChatGPT could give you how to skyrocket your listenership on social audio. And that's not something Mimi would say. And if
Right.
you just ran with it, it'd be awkward.
They're going to be like, is this
What?
a robot?
Yeah.
You know what's so funny? You can tell, or at least I'm catching on. And I know there's a lot of people catching on. Like you mentioned earlier, people are starting to tell what is you, and especially if they've been following you for a while versus, oh my gosh, that's a robot. Even if they haven't been following you for a while, you can kind of tell the way. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, it's very visible. It's very visible, especially if you're not prompting it in the right way.
Right. The last thing I'll share, and then we'll jump into a commercial break because we want to talk about a few more ways we utilize it, especially for like the podcast and titling, which is its own category. Because I know some of you out there, titling is not your strong suit. So we'll talk about that. But last thing, you can actually utilize ChatGPT for business reasons. And we're not saying use it like as a professional service, but I'm talking like things that maybe don't come easy to you, maybe like calculations, right? Like analytics, data, things like that. So just something to think about if you're not great at math. I go right to ChatGPT. Forget Googling. What's the percent of this percent of that percent? Like that's no.
That's funny. But yeah, I mean, just remember, you have to have good numbers in to get good numbers out. So make sure that you're paying attention to the numbers you're putting into any system. But, we don't want crap in, crap out. So
And that it's honest.
my regional, yeah, that's what my regional used to always tell me when I was working at Barnes & Noble. We don't want crap in. We don't want crap out.
I love it. But
Like,
listen,
okay.
if you have if I can give a real example of this, like, I want to make a certain amount of money a month. So I will throw that into ChatGPT and I'll say, okay, so how much do I need to make this, for how, basically
What's my
just prompting
weekly?
it.
Yeah.
Right.
What's my weekly or my daily that I need to make? Do I need to sell 3 digital products every day to make my week? And that's
Something like
useful
that.
to know.
Yeah. And I'll even ask it too, like, what's a good price? You know what I mean? Like, because some of us struggle with pricing. And I'm not saying, just listen to this AI robot, but it's nice to it's almost like you are chit chatting back and forth. It's kind of weird.
Right. It's a little weird. But you are chatting back and forth with it.
Yeah. So, anywho,
All right. There you go.
let's jump
Anywho.
into a commercial break. We'll go into
A
the
commercial
commercial break because that's what keeps the lights on. So let's
What
go.
could this commercial break be about?
I don't know. Two
Okay.
fabulous people from New York.
Oh, there we go. So here's the commercial break. I'll
That was a-
Vanna White it. Are you tired of not having the time, not having the clarity, not having a clue what to post, or what trends are even important on social media? There is a solution out there, and that solution is the Signature Membership. The Signature Membership will help you by providing you a strategy, showing you how to remain consistent, always having ideas on what to post, and having clarity in your content. Overall, it's even going to help your visibility and your ability to make money on social media.
Is social media starting to feel like crickets for you lately? No engagement, no likes. Hello, does anyone see this? Is anyone out there? What if I told you that social audio, aka audio marketing, could be the game changer that your business needs? Hi, it's Mimi Langley here, and I teach all about social audio. And right now I have a brand new training all about LinkedIn audio. Yes, LinkedIn has social audio. Learn how LinkedIn audio operates and the strategies you'll need to gain visibility, make sales, and grow your email list in under 60 minutes. Check the description for a link.
Back from the commercial break, you guys, we are going to continue talking about AI real quick. The links from the commercials are below in the show notes. Okay, so we have 2 more things to talk about with AI. The first one is titling. All right. And again, titling is art. It's a skill, right? We're not all made to be amazing at titling things.
You
And it doesn't
mean I
hurt-
suck.
No, don't include me in that. I think I am pretty good at titling. But anywho, I will tell you, you guys, I use ChatGPT for this. There might be others out there that may help you with titling. But for me, I have been able to, like, for example, I had a training for Clubhouse. And I didn't know what the heck to call it. I mean, I knew what I was going to be teaching about, but again, like, what are some strong words, some curiosity building words that I can really put in here to make people stop the scroll and want to click and learn more?
Right.
So anyways, I got master in minutes. That was one of the phrases I got from ChatGPT.
Yep. And you can find some good titles, and you have to zhuzh them around. And sometimes you'll end up with like finding the beginning of this title and the end of that title that works and you like it. I think that's how we came up with our last podcast title. We've pulled something from the beginning of one, something from the end of another, and it worked. So yeah, I mean, titling is, and it's an art, but it's not an easy one. It's not an easy one, and it has to be targeted to your audience, and all those things go into it. So you have to be involved, but AI can help you.
Yeah, because a lot of the time too, it's like, I mean, you just forget about certain words and, phrases that could really help leverage whatever you're trying to push. Same thing for email subject lines.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not all the best at email subject lines. Come on, you guys. So ChatGPT can at least help you. And the cool thing about ChatGPT too, at least for me, I always prompt this, give me 25 examples. Like, just give me all the examples you have so I can just scroll through them.
Yep. And it's always useful, and you can find something and you're like, oh, I like this one. Oh, I hate this one,
Right, exactly. And again, like you said, pull some from this, pull some from that. But a book, maybe you're a writer, maybe you want to write an ebook, whatever, a physical book, a hard copy for Barnes & Noble. Shout out to Barnes & Noble. Yep. But seriously though, anyways, just titling could be great with AI. Okay, the last category we have, and that is how it helps us with the podcast. Because there are certain things like, again, Riverside, we use Buzzsprout, and I believe Buzzsprout has AI features, but I know for sure Riverside does. Do you want to share kind of like what that gives you, Jonathan?
So yeah, for Riverside, we use the transcript feature, which creates the transcript from us talking, and that's AI based. And we use that pretty much straight out of the box because I don't redo the transcript. We use the show notes, and that, Mimi, you can write your notes off of that for the actual show notes. We don't use them directly from there, but
I never do.
Pull them there. Yeah. And then we also use, what's the third one? The chapters. We always use the chapters because it gives you the time on the chapters and the name for the chapter so that people can see where the podcast breaks. We do need to get better at, going through and making sure they're the correct ones. And there's maybe a few more chapters than they give us, but the AI keeps getting better. Sometimes the other thing that I do with the AI is the breaks, the ums, the uhs. I always run a full edit using that tool. So it takes all the ums and uhs out. Sometimes I have to add them back in because they're on purpose and it makes it seem really weird, but I always use the AI to take them all out, and then I'll add them back manually if they needed to go in.
I didn't know that about that last part there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so
magic.
we use AI a lot for at least the podcast portion. I was going to add, like, with the show notes, I love it when Jonathan sends me the AI'd show notes, because really, we film these in advance, these episodes, and so a lot of the time I forget sometimes what was talked about, like, well, really what was the big piece here? What was the theme here? And so those AI show notes really remind me what the episode was about. They also help me with the highlights of the episode. So it really, it helps a lot. It saves me a lot of time, period. And then the other way, other than, obviously the titling, which we try, again, we talked about that earlier. The other one is keywords. Like, I'm not the best at SEO, and so that's not my strong suit. I try, like, I'm learning more about SEO. But AI has helped me with SEO friendly keywords and things like that could possibly help anyways down the road. And that goes for both the podcast audio and also when we're doing YouTube. I use AI to get, YouTube keywords as well. So there we go, Jonathan. That was it. You got through it.
I got through the episode. Amazing, right?
Well, do you want to end it? I know that you wanted to just kind of reiterate, like, just your take on it, just to close it up, because I know you feel very strongly about this. And I know obviously the podcast represents who you are as much as it does as myself. So go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I, we came through it and we came up with a way to do it that we both felt good about, now that it's done. But one of the reasons that I feel very strongly about it is because I believe that the only way that you're going to be able to show up and reach your audience is by being yourself. And if you're using things like AI to create your content, you're not showing up and being yourself. So creating content yourself and being that thought leader is really, really important for you if you want to get anywhere on social media. So that's why I feel very strongly about it. And obviously my program is about creating your signature style, sharing your stories and reaching your ideal audience. So I also feel strongly because that, but yes.
Right.
Mimi.
And it makes sense. And you do a beautiful job at that. Honestly, you guys, like if you need to figure out your signature style or what the heck that even looks like or storytelling, I mean, Jonathan's your go-to person other than just creating short form video because that's what he does amazingly as well. But I love that. And everything we shared today, I feel really good about saying because it's ethical. It's, it goes with our values, our morals. Like it's not, this is just what it is. We're being very transparent with you guys when it comes to AI. We're not saying go out there, use AI to write a book for you. And then you take those AI words, download them and put them on Amazon. That's not what we're telling you to do. So,
yeah. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Not, yeah. Anywho,
do you want to go ahead, Jonathan, and tell people kind of like where they can find us? Since we've done a good job with this episode. We're done.
Okay, we're done. Wait, where can they find us? Okay, so
oh my God.
We're anywhere that you can find that you listen to your podcast. We are honestly, like if you want to listen to it on Amazon Echo, you can go say, hey, Amazon Echo, play Coffee Social. And it will. So how cool is that?
Wait, if they do that, if you do that, please record it and send it to us. Please. We will put it on our Instagram.
With that said, we are available anywhere you listen to podcasts and on YouTube and on Instagram. And are we on Pinterest yet? Are we there yet?
Soon.
No?
Soon.
Okay. So you did OnlyFans before Pinterest. Got it. And
got to make the money. Got to keep the lights on.
Got to make the money. So yes, we are anywhere that you listen to podcasts and any social media. Honestly, you can find us or some representation of us. And don't forget to give Mimi 5 stars. If we don't give Mimi 5 stars, Mimi cries. Mimi cries every day when she doesn't get 5 stars. So give her a review. Make sure you give her 5 stars. She loves her stars. She is a star and she deserves them. There you go. She's responsible for the actual goodness of this podcast. I'm just the comic relief.
I'm the
Back
halo.
to you, Mimi.
I'm the light. I'm just kidding.
I'm just the comic relief.
Yes, you are. We love you. So, okay, you guys, we will go ahead and end this with the most important question of them all. And I feel like you are winning. I don't know. I am. I don't want to put that out there, but are you team Mimi? If you're team Mimi, please let me know. Or are you team
Jonathan? Are you not cheersing me on this? Team Mimi or Team Jonathan?
Team Mimi.
Okay. I'm Team Jonathan, obviously.
No, I think you're Team Mimi.
You see, my sister voted for Team Mimi and Team Jonathan.
Well, we have a lot of people who do both because they just can't break our hearts. Yeah, our hearts are very breakable.
Very sad.
So, yeah, all right. Very sad. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We love you for it. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye, Jonathan Howard.
Bye, Mimi Langley.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, wait, I should be happier because we ended on a good note. Bye, Mimi Langley.